Hi, I'm Ravi. I am SHRM in India. A few years back, I was curious, what is SHRM? Incidentally, we call it SHRM, phonetically as in SHERM, but the E, just let that be. SHRM is in India. SHRM, SHRM as we call it, is the largest body of knowledge, is the largest source for anything to do with human resources globally. Why do we say SHRM is the largest professional HR association in the world? Simply because we as SHRM at the last estimate were about 25% of the global HR workforce. 255,000 strong in 40 plus countries. After the United States, the largest body community of HR within SHRM is in India. SHRM India is about linking SHRM Global and HR as it is evolving in our subcontinent, so that a global knowledge exchange platform comes into being, wherein we in the emerging markets, including India, learn from what's been happening globally, and some of the unique best practices that are happening in this part of the world can be shared and leveraged by others in other parts of the world. And the pace at which this is happening is actually increasing day by day.
The pace of change in the world is accelerating. For business, staying on top of that relentless change can be all-consuming. But there is one asset that can be harnessed to keep up with change, and even manage it into an advantage. This asset makes us more competitive. It grows in strength as an organization grows. It positions countries to perform better in the world. That asset is people. Human resources. Developing people is the best way to adapt to change, because people drive the change. A human resource professional is the voice of those people. A strategist, a builder, a catalyst, an expert on what's next. Great companies and countries adapt to change faster because they know what's next. Next is evolving from bricks and mortar into a digital business. Next is transforming a nation of workers into a nation of innovators. Next is changing from office hours to productive hours. Next is responding to an economy gone down with a strategy for an economy turning up. Next is human resources. Seeing now what others won't see until later. HR. We know next.
Let's look at the past 10 years or so. How many companies have recruited, say, 20,000 people in a year? 5? 10? Okay. Where have they done this? It's a no-brainer. It's happened in this part of the world. It's happened in what's being loosely termed the emerging markets. It's happened in India or in China. Which are the companies that have done it? Large multinationals and large Indian houses. 20,000 people being recruited in 1 year's time. The throughput for recruiting one person averages from start to finish at 20. So when one company recruits 20,000 people, we're talking of transactions involving 20,000 into 20. You do the math. These kind of practices have begun to happen, and there is learning from that. This needs to be chronicled, captured, showcased, so that others, when next time you want to recruit 10,000 people, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's available for you. It's available to you as models. It's available to you as experiences, as stories. All we need to do is latch onto them and do things better, more effectively. This is the knowledge management that SHRM India is engaged in this part of the world. SHRM India is engaged at all three levels. At the transactional levels, we have some of the best tools and practices are available through our website and our knowledge resources. At the transitional level, wherein we are working with our programs like HR Next, like this existing globally recognized certification programs, like an indigenously developed HR in alignment for mid-level practitioners where business alignment and HR processes start making sense. And about Leadership Next. What are those kind of things that we need to exhibit at the workplace in order to bring the best and more out of our employees? Where does this knowledge come from? It comes from the practices that happen in industry. It happens by chronicling these practices and making it available to everybody else. It happens by engaging the intellect and the experience of the people who are going through certain challenges at their workplace. SHRM, as a not-for-profit professional association, had to come into this marketplace to do a few things. One, it's all in the knowledge domain, but this knowledge thing can be categorized into a few elements. Let's break it up into, say, knowledge resources, which is what you click onto your website, you see, you have a plethora of articles, case studies, research matter available to you. There are knowledge networks, both virtual and physical. The SHRM India forums that are there in 12 centers already are a place where people, HR practitioners, meet, not just network, but share their experiences. SHRM India brings in content, new content from either forums or other parts of the country, and every forum event becomes a knowledge and networking event. So SHRM India is about not just knowledge resources, but knowledge communities, knowledge networks, and knowledge for the future.